Hey guys, Rhonda Dracoulis here, RK3 Designs, and welcome to our live. I'm so excited tonight. You may actually witness me biting off more than I can chew. So, here we go. I was approached by a lady on Facebook, and she asked me what I thought about a recipe and how to create this one finish. So I got to looking at it and I said, you know what, I can do that. And so here we are. I literally got home about 45 minutes ago. So I have not got to practice this. I did a very tiny sample in the corner just to kind of get my colors. So we are definitely winging it tonight. And this is not my wheelhouse of the type of finish that we're going to do, but guys, we're going to have a good time. So sit back, grab yourself a little cold one, and enjoy. So you can see I'm sweating up here because I'm a little nervous because I really don't know if I can pull this off, but this is the inspiration. So I printed it. Now not only, I don't know if you can see that or not only have I bit off more than I can chew as far as maybe being able to recreate this look.
It looks like a geo.
I actually went and bought the dress. How about that? Because I was so inspired. So Robin, sister, this one's for you. Thank you for this. I hope it turns out. Even more, I hope that the dress fits me since I ordered it online. All right, so I'm excited. So what we're going to do tonight is, and we've done this before, guys, we're going to do work with some alcohol dyes. Now, they're not alcohol inks, okay? So alcohol inks are not really compatible to use in epoxy, especially if it's going to be used as a countertop or something that's going to be in the sun, because most alcohol inks are not actually sun fast or light fast. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to create our own inks by taking our Alumilite dyes, and we are going to mix them with isopropyl alcohol. Now, I have the recipe here, and I will post it for you guys, but we're actually going to go over this recipe in detail as our finish is drying, because tonight we're going to actually kind of rush the process. Normally, after we do the finish, we spray it and then we let it sit overnight so it's nice and dry. Actually, let it dry first, then we spray it, and then we put the epoxy. But because we're on live, we're going to try to rush the process, which I highly do not recommend, but we're going to try it. So I am sacrificing me for you. So anyway, let's get started. So what I've done and is that is not my drink. Sorry. So what I've done to prep for this finish is I have just MDF, and I painted it with white undercoating. You can paint it with latex, you can paint it with whatever you want. The main thing is, then I came over with just clear epoxy at 2 ounces per square foot, and then I let that dry overnight. Now the reason we do that is because we need to create a very slick surface for our alcohol to be able to slide across it. So really quick before we continue, I have the masters of this technique as my moderators. So I want everyone to say hello to my moderators, Clara, Lawrence, Vamp, and Little Miss Erica. Now I'm not sure if Erica's on or not, because guess what, guys? She's getting married on Sunday. I'm so excited.
Is it Sunday or Saturday?
It's Sunday. It's the 1st. So.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm going to be in Mexico. So whatever day it is, I'm going to be there. So we're excited. So a whole bunch of us are going down. We're leaving Thursday morning, and we're going to be going down to Mexico. So I'm super pumped. So everyone tell Erica congratulations on her upcoming wedding.
What
All
about
right.
Jeff?
And Jeff. Oh my gosh, yes, and Jeff. So also everybody say hi to my better half.
That's right.
Kenny Dracoulis. He's in the background. Guys,
Like always.
I couldn't do this without him. All right, so we've let the clear epoxy set overnight, and it's ready to go. You do not want to sand this before you start doing this technique, because what will happen, you'll sand it, then all those inks will get down into those sanding marks, and you'll have lines. Okay, so here we go. I'm so excited. All right, so let's look at our picture again. So what I want to try to do is create this darker line that kind of goes down the middle. We're going to kind of pretend this is the dress, okay? So we're going to kind of start in the corner, and we're going to come down.
That's more like in the middle. That's not the corner.
We're going to start, well, yeah, I guess it is kind of the middle. So we're going to start at the collarbone, and we're going to go to the hip. How about that?
So
all
what
right.
side's the head?
So this will be the head. This will be the head side. Okay, so we're going to work this way. All right, so here we go. Like I said, guys, I have not practiced this, so we're going to see what happens. All right, so what we want to do is get the right equipment. You want to use, in this case, a hairdryer. All right, not a heat gun. All right, because what happens if you use a heat gun, it gets so hot and blows so hard that it dries up the alcohol super fast, and you kind of lose control. So Clara, if I know she's going to be answering questions, but Clara is the queen of alcohol inks and all of this. She's the one that came up with the recipe of the inks that I'm using tonight, or the dyes, I should say, that I'm using tonight. So whatever she says, believe me, it's right. Okay, so we're going to start off with 91% isopropyl alcohol. If you use 99, be aware that there is a very strong smell, and it can give you a headache. Make sure you're in a really good ventilated room. I don't recommend 70%. It's just got too much water in it, but the 91 seems to work the best. All right, so I'm going to just kind of start laying down my pattern here. And I'm just going to lay quite a bit of that alcohol out. Now, you can see down here at the end, I was playing a little bit with the colors. And when I wiped it off, it kind of stained a little bit because I had my hairdryer set too hot. So it will cause it to kind of stain your surface. All right, so I'm going to start off with a color that Clara made called Smoky Blue. Yes. All right. And I will give you guys, just in a little bit, I'll give you the recipe. All right, so I'm just going to kind of come down here and lay that color down. And then I use...
And tell them don't be scared to put the alcohol down.
Yeah, don't be scared, because the alcohol is your friend, guys. It really is. It's
remember, you did not
right.
do
If
that.
you don't put enough alcohol down and then enough color, you really won't get the desired look. Now, this color is a color that I made with one of our resin art colors, and it is Angel Wings. So we're just going to start this. Now, it's going to get loud because I have the hairdryer on, so I'll try to talk through it. So we're just going to take the hairdryer, and we're just going to start moving that color around. Kind of spreading it out. And just kind of get an idea of where I want my design to be. Now I can come back and I can add more color where it'll be a little more intense. And then I also want to keep a wet edge. All right, I like to keep a wet edge so that I can feather those colors out and keep it very soft. Now you can see as it starts to dry, you start to get your definition. All right, so I'm liking how that starts to get some definition. Now I'm gonna start coming in with some other colors. I noticed in the photo that one side of the dress had a little bit of a dark gray color. So I'm gonna come in here with a color that we call warm gray. And it's just a little bit of that, and I'm gonna add a little bit more of this, that's Smoky Ocean, some more of this blue, and start working it in. Ah, yeah.
Maybe a darker line.
Maybe a darker line?
With the gray.
With the gray? Okay. Yeah. All right. So
on that same side.
On the same side. So we're looking, and what I'm kind of seeing is a darker gray right here. So we're going to try that a little bit more. So you never want to go in with your dye onto a dry board because it will kind of stain it. So I'm going to come in here a little darker, just right here. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of that blue. And start.
Yes, the epoxy has already been poured last night.
Yes, so we poured this last night and we let it dry for 24 hours. Now we are going to go back over the top with some more epoxy. We just have to create a very slick.
I can hear you.
You can? Okay, we have to create a slick surface so that the alcohol that we're putting down can move and flow. So this is alcohol also. I just have it in a small bottle so that I can control it a little bit better. Now, guys, don't pay attention to this down here. It's got some greens and yellows because I was playing earlier. So all I'm doing by adding more alcohol is just giving my surface, my alcohol kind of room to kind of play and move. Now as it starts to dry, you're going to notice that's when you start seeing your design. Like these lines here, as your epoxy starts to dry. Now we've got some dimpling, and I'm going to get rid of that here in just a second. But as that alcohol starts to dissipate, you're going to start seeing the design kind of come together.
It looks good.
All right, so I don't know why this is dimpling on me like this. Claire, why is it dimpling on me like this? So
I think it's just too much alcohol.
Maybe, no, I think it's too much dye. So.
Did you make it?
No, Claire made it, but we had to make it really quick. So this would eventually all dry. We're just going to kind of force it tonight because we're kind of in a hurry. So any other time, you're just going to kind of let this dry on its own. Now, if you mix your alcohol or your dyes, your aluminite dyes, if you mix them too strong or too opaque into your alcohol, what'll happen? It won't dry. Okay, because dyes will not dry on their own. They need to be mixed.
Did you mix it before using them?
Mix what?
Did you shake
them?
Nope.
Let's
nope.
pretend.
No, that's a big N-O. I could tell on the face. Look at her face.
Let's pretend that I did.
So you didn't?
Okay. All right. So lessons, guys. Shake your bottle very well.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
Shake it before you break it.
That's it. Okay. So I am loving this. Now let's go add a little bit in our corners, and then we're going to play with this a little bit more. All right. So in the dress, it kind of looks like our top is quite a bit lighter, except for this one shoulder up here. And then our edge, we're kind of darker in this area. So we're gonna add some more alcohol down here. And obviously, we're gonna do this as a countertop. We're not doing it as a dress. So I wanna make sure that alcohol goes over my edges. And I'm gonna come back. Now this time I'm gonna add a little different color.
It.
I am. But I'm gonna come in here with a Smoky Ocean. All right, so the difference is the Smoky Blue is made with our blue translucent dye, and the Smoky Ocean is made with our translucent Blue Ocean dye. So there's a little bit of difference, and I want you guys to see as I put it down. This is the color we've been using, but I'm gonna put a little bit of this. See how that's it's a little brighter blue? Now, I love that color. I think if I was trying to match the dress, however, I think it's a little bit too blue.
Yeah, the other one's better.
Yeah, but I wanted to show you guys the difference between the blues. I like that. I'm gonna come in here with a little bit of my warm gray, just a tiny bit. Come back in here with some alcohol. Now, I don't want this piece to be as bold, so I'm gonna keep adding alcohol and diluting my color. And I'm also, if you'll notice, I'm letting that run over the edge. And getting a really pretty edge. Now, one thing I love about this design is how you can create very, very soft colors over your white to where it's almost a translucent color. So I'm going to come in here and bring in some more of my clear. I'm going to add a little bit more of the, not Smoky Ocean, the Smoky Blue. Start bringing it up a little bit. So I'm kind of bringing it darker again. There, I like that. It's more of a distinct color. And if you'll see how I'm kind of running the two together and making it soft.
And notice you need to turn the hairdryer off before you put the ink on, or you make a mess like Rhonda.
Like I just did. Always forget. All right, so I'm loving this. The really cool thing about this is, guys, you really can't mess up. If you don't like what you did, just put some more alcohol. You could wipe it off, or you can just come in and use your hairdryer and blow it back off. All right, now I'm gonna get some really pretty. Let's get some, all right, so this color here, I want to kind of bling up the white areas. So I'm gonna come back in here with clear. And I'm gonna add a product called, well, where did I put it? Called, it's a resin art. So it's actually, here it is. It's actually a powder. You can get it on Artist Till Death's website. It's by Bling It. And it's a powder, and it's just gives a little bit of shimmer. Can you guys see that shimmer? And it's very important that you shake that before you put it on, because it is a powder and it will settle. Can y'all see that little shimmer? And here's another one of them. I'm going to come in with some more. And this one's called Azul Mist. That's a pretty color as well. A little bit darker, running out of alcohol.
So blue mist.
Blue, yes, blue mist. You can see how when I add alcohol, it reactivates some of the color that I already have on the surface. And then now by pushing these colors out, I can take that area that was once white and make it very, very soft with a color. And then you'll also notice how you'll get different colors just because these inks are mixing.
What is the brown one used first?
The brown is what we called smoky.
The shimmer one.
Oh, the shimmer one? That it's really not a brown. I know it's called rain.
Rain.
Yeah. And that is a bling it. I'm going to come in here and add a little bit, soften this up a little bit. I really want to soften this. And see how you can
She's going to talk about the colors here in a minute.
See how you can really just soften? I just wanted to come back over here to show you how you can come back over and you can soften. If I want to add more blue, I can come in with more blue. That's warm gray. That's not blue. Here we go. So now if I want to darken it all back up, I can just add more color.
Did you shake it this time?
I did shake it this time. Oh, I love how that goes into the... Now, if I were to leave it alone and not push it with the hairdryer, the alcohol is going to evaporate, and it'll evaporate very soft and leave a very soft pattern. By me force drying it and forcing that alcohol to evaporate, that's when I get more of the distinct hard lines, and it creates the pattern. So if you want it to be very soft and you don't want really hard lines, let it kind of dry on its own. Don't force it all the way dry. Now, I have a little bit of this product left. It is actually an ink. It's by Pinata, and it's got little gold flecks in it. So that's why it's not going to fade over time. So I'm going to add a little bit more. You know what? I'm going to add some right here as well. I'm going to come back in with the Smoky Blue. This time I'm going to add some of our gold. And I'm going to run that gold up. And just a little tiny more blue here. So this is kind of how I cook, guys. I literally throw it on there. But now look at that gold shimmer. Is that not gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now you'll see we're starting to get some really pretty colors of the purple. So that's what you need to do. If you're going to do this on a countertop, you need to make sure that you practice with the actual colors that you're going to use so that you know what colors you're going to be mixing up and getting to blend. And like I said, guys, if you really want to see somebody that's good at doing this, y'all need to go follow Clara Lawrence on YouTube. She's got a phenomenal YouTube, and she is amazing at this.
Did you do the piñata one?
Yes. So the gold is right here. So you'll
it's
start.
the one that's right here.
Yeah. See the gold as the alcohol starts to evaporate, you're going to start seeing the gold lay down in little veins.
Yeah, you can see it now with that light.
Yeah, see how it's moving?
Yeah.
Now we're going to add some more gold once we put the top coat, the top epoxy on. We're going to be adding some more. See how that gold's popping up as soon as that alcohol evaporates? See how that gold? Okay, now one thing you will notice is if you let this evaporate on its own, you are not going to get as much of these little dimples as I'm getting, but because we're on a live, I'm forcing it to dry more than I normally would force it to dry because I really want to be able to go to the next step with you guys tonight and not let this all dry. Because if I were doing this for an actual countertop, I would leave it, it would dry, and then I would spray our sealer on it, and then tomorrow I would pour the epoxy. But because we're live and I'm trying to hurry, I'm skipping some steps. So please, 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 if you do this at home, make sure you let this dry. All right, I think I'm loving this. I can't wait to get my dress. All right, so let's do something little. Let's do this corner right here with a very light color. I want to show you how you can take a white area and you can add a tiny bit of color and you can really just blend it in and get a very soft, almost a watercolor effect. By adding more alcohol as I go, I'm just look how light. I don't even know if you can see it, it's so light. See the blue here? It's just so light. It's not that stark white shining through. Something's got that.
Whatever that.
It's got that purple in it. I think it's that.
Yeah.
I think it's the rain.
No, it's not the rain. It's the other light blue one.
The light blue. Oh, this one, maybe.
No, the other one that you just used.
I don't remember which one it was. So I just want this to be very, 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 very soft. Now see, one of my favorite things with working with this is look at these designs. I love that. That's my favorite part. I love watercolor. So I like these very fine little lines that you get. And this technique reminds me so much of watercolors. And that's why I think it is just so much fun. You can create looks that you just cannot create any other way, and then put your epoxy on top of it. So, all right, so we're gonna let this dry. I'm gonna tap it a little bit to kind of help it. Normally, I would not tap this out. I would just kind of let it dry on its own. But like I said, I want to go to the next step. Okay, so we're gonna let this dry a little bit, and I'm gonna
about the colors
yep,
now?
and I'm gonna show you guys these colors. Okay, let me do this really quick. I'm gonna try to dry the rest of this so it'll be done by the time we get done, finished. Okay. Alrighty. Now, let's talk colors. Okay, so Clara is the one that came up. So I had a actual countertop job, and the customer wanted the vanity. You guys may have seen the video on it, where Clara and I did this. Mostly Clara, I watched. And so she taught me a lot in that video. So she's the one that kind of came up with these colors, and I'm going to share them with you. All right, so to get the color that we used most in this finish, which was our Smoky Blue, that's the kind of the grayish blue that we used.
The darker blue.
The darker blue. What we did is we took our black opaque dye from Alumilite, okay? And we took translucent blue from Alumilite, okay? And she put 2 little tiny drops of the black and 3 drops of the blue, all right? And I'm going to post this for you guys. So if you can't get all this right now, I will post it in the comments. All right, so the Smoky Blue was 2 drops of black, 3 drops of the translucent blue in a probably 1 ounce dropper. Actually, this is probably closer to a 2 ounce dropper. But you guys need to play with it and kind of come up on your own concentration. But that's what we did. And these little bottles, I believe
she already said where she got them.
Okay, I was going to say she got them. And so go ahead and put, Clara, if you can put the amount of alcohol, the size these bottles are. Okay, so that was our Smoky Blue. All right, then for our warm gray, this is the area that's the real gray color that we kind of brought in on the edge. Our warm gray is 2 of our black and 1 of the brown opaque dye. One of my very, very favorite browns there is. So 2 black, 1 brown for the color of warm gray. All right, that's the kind of the grayish color we used. All right, then we came in over here on the edge. Kenny, why don't you show them the different color? So the lighter blue. Already. Oh, did you? Okay, so
that's the one that has the green.
Yes, so the lighter blue that seems to leave a little bit of a green hue when it starts to evaporate is what we're calling Smoky Ocean. All right, so the Smoky Ocean is 2 drops of the black and 3 drops of the ocean blue, not the translucent blue. So the Smoky Blue is 2 blacks, 3 translucent blue. The Smoky Ocean is 2 blacks and 3 of the ocean blue. All right, it's just the blues are different. That's the only difference. Okay, so those really are the only dyes that I used in here. The other colors that we used, we did the Azure Mist, which is the real shiny, sparkly kind of the blue color. And that is a resin art product. We will carry these on our website. We just don't have them there yet. But Erica on Artist Till Death, she does have this brand. It is a powder, but it actually, come show them this. It's a powder, but to me, it's not like a mica powder. It's almost, I always what am I trying to say? Relate it to, that didn't come out right. Almost to a freeze-dried coffee, instant coffee. Because the minute that you put that in resin, it absolutely melts like butter. So it's an amazing color. So that was the Azure, I guess I'm saying it right, Mist. All right, Azure. All right, so the other one that we used that had kind of a greenish tint and it was sparkly was our Bling It, also available from Artist Till Death, and the color is Rain. Absolutely a gorgeous color. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I used another color that I kind of made up just a few minutes ago, and it is called Angel Wings. Also a Bling It product available from Erica. All right, so the three products that are available from Erica are the Bling It Rain, which has like a greenish tint. A Bling It Angel Wings has a purpley blue tint. And the Azure Mist by Resin Art, which is a deeper blue. All right. Then the last thing that we used was the gold that left the very fine veins of gold. And that is actually a product called Pinata. And it's an alcohol ink. And I have no idea where this came from. I think I stole it from Clara or I stole it from Erica. So it's empty now, girls. So I owe you a pinata. All right, so see what happens when you come to my house?
Hey, tell them about if they want to use a different pigment, they're just going to have to...
Yes, now if you want to come up with your own colors, by all means. We've come up with gorgeous turquoises. Just any of the Alumilite dyes will work. But remember, only 1 or 2 drops, because if you get it too thick or too opaque, it's going to leave a lot of that product on the surface after the alcohol has evaporated, because dye will never dry. If you've ever put dye on your table and walked off and a week later and you come back and that dye is still wet. So if you put too much, it won't dry. Now, if that happens and you notice that it's dried and it won't come off and it's still kind of coming off when you touch it, just take a paper towel, you can blot it, it'll come off, and it'll still leave your design. Okay, so we look like we are pretty dry now. All right, so what we're gonna do, guys, and I cannot reiterate this enough, do not do this at home, okay? Make sure you let this dry overnight.
How long?
Overnight. All right, at least overnight. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, let's pretend it's the next day. All right, so we've all slept.
So leave and come back.
We all come back refreshed. We're ready to go. Now it's dry. We can run our hand over it. It doesn't come off, and it doesn't smear. If it does, you need to pat it dry. Now we're gonna come in with a product called Archival Spray. It's a UV Archival Spray. It's by Krylon, and it is a matte finish. It is the utmost important that you use the matte. If you use the gloss has alcohol. It will rejuvenate your alcohol. It'll reactivate it, and it's going to make it move. So you need to make sure that you use the matte. Now, I like the UV Archival because it's got UV protection, and it's going to keep your colors very vivid, okay? Now, if you can't find that, you can also use the Rust-Oleum clear spray paint. Make sure it is the matte clear spray paint, okay? Now, there is no UV protection in this, but it will work. Make sure also that when you pour your epoxy over the top that you're using the Art Coat by Stone Coat Countertop, because that has so much of the UV protection. All right, so what we're going to do, and I should have done this while I was talking, I'm going to actually use, ooh, this Archival Spray stinks, but I'm going to use it anyway. All right, make sure that you do this in a well-ventilated area, which I don't have my fan on yet, but I'm in a very, very large area, so I feel pretty good.
On?
No, it'd be too loud. All right, so I'm going to come over here. Now you want to do light, thin coats. If you do too much, it'll puddle up.
Do you have to sand it?
No, you do not want to sand it. If you sand it, you're going to take off all of your beautiful work. By applying this, the epoxy now is going to grab a hold and you don't have to sand it. So it's very important. It's very important that you do not sand it. All right? And it dries very quickly. So we'll get ready. Now, I mixed this epoxy up
50 minutes ago.
Yeah, 50 minutes ago. So this is the Art Coat, and the Art Coat has an
how long should you wait
it is
till
warm though.
You pour?
Okay, so ideally, you're going to want to do at least 3 layers of your archival spray or your clear spray paint. Then, guys, you need to let this dry for, depending on your temperature, depending on the humidity, everything's going to dry at different rates if you're in Texas as opposed to Arizona or up north. At least till you can run your hand over it very, very well and you don't feel any part that could be a little bit sticky. You want to make sure it's 100% dry. Minimum, I would say a couple of hours. So I'm going to test it here a little bit. Make sure nothing's coming off. Nothing's coming off. Everything looks good. I am really...
I bet you're going to have some.
You think? So...
Well, yeah.
Well, it's not coming off, so everything looks good. All right. Again, don't do this at home. Make sure you wait. All right, so here we go. Now we're going to pour the epoxy. So if this does reactivate...
You know why.
You know why. Because it should not, when you put your epoxy on top, it should not move any of your dyes because everything is dry. Now, because we are kind of pushing the envelope with time, we may get a little bit of movement because the epoxies may reactivate the alcohol. So, drum roll, please. Here we go. Don't fail me now. Now, guys, and another thing I don't recommend you do is leave your epoxy in your bucket for as long as I did. It is definitely getting warm, but I did not want to mix this on camera where you guys had to wait on me to mix it. All right, but this is our Art Coat. Art Coat has a very long open time, but it is definitely on the warm side. All right. Another thing you want to be really careful with is if you do this to not use a trowel. Trowel. I'm trying to say it right, y'all, because I keep getting hate mail from people who tell me that I'm saying it wrong. So I'm trying to learn the correct vocabulary for you guys. Now, what I absolutely love is when you put this on top of the alcohol, it makes it look 3D, and it is absolutely stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Look at the depth. Now my epoxy is starting to get really thick, but I kind of like it. Now I actually do leave my epoxy in the bucket quite often on a lot of my designs, because when I pour that epoxy out,
Doesn't look like it's moving though, guys.
no, it looks good. It's not moving, but please still don't do this at home. Give it plenty of time.
Did you put any bling in there?
Bling what? Yeah, oh, I did. I put a tiny bit of gold dust in the epoxy. I forgot about that. Thanks, babe. All right. All right, so I'm going to torch it. As soon as I find a torch. Hold on. I'll be back. All right. Yes, so I did add just a little bit of the gold dust. And I mean a tiny bit. All right.
Get the front edge.
Okay. All right. Now, if I would have been paying attention, I would have walked around here and I would have watched my edges. But I didn't.
It's all right.
Shame on me. I forgot my edges. How dare I? Okay. I need a little swig here. All right, now here comes some fun part. Now, I have mixed up a gold, and this is a gold by Color Obsession called, what is it called? Rich Gold Shimmer. All right, and it's going to kind of float on top of the piece. All right, so I'm very lightly going to start running.
Oh, you're not even gonna follow nothing.
No, I'm just getting after it. I'm just putting this gold down. And then we are going to actually take a heat gun this time instead of a hairdryer, because I want to be able to move that epoxy a little bit more. And I hate this heat gun.
Why didn't you get the other one?
I don't know. It's not even working. Oh, there it goes. All right. Now I'm going to come in, and I just want this to barely move it, okay? So I'm going to come in and take and move the gold. Kind of going across and just getting it to kind of move a little bit. Now this gold likes to sit on top of the epoxy. It doesn't really sink. So that's how you can really get a beautiful accent on top of your color. Now this would be also something that would be your choice on how much of this you want on top. This was rich something, rich gold shimmer. And I just want a little bit. And I'm not even gonna feather out every single line. Some of the lines I'm going to leave a little thinner than other lines. some I'll really move out. And if you notice, I'm getting pretty close to my piece, but I'm keeping the heat gun moving. You don't want to keep the heat gun in one area for very long because you will burn the epoxy. Stone Coat Countertop is 0 VOCs unless you burn it. If you burn it, you will know it. All right.
Here.
What?
Keep that other line right there.
Oh, right there. I didn't even see it. So there's our lighting in here. The light hits us just right. We can't see. All right. Okay, wow.
You're not going to do these?
Yeah, I guess let me do this real quick. I'll do one.
What are you doing?
I'm getting some gold right there.
There's a bunch.
Oh, I didn't see it. I thought I forgot to put it on there. There it goes. So what do you think, guys? Would you have put this gold on here? I think it just makes it, because it makes it look so 3D. So what I will do after this is, now you can come over the top of this with another clear coat, which if this were a, hang on a second. If this were a countertop, I would come over with another coat of epoxy because of the durability. I want 2 coats of epoxy. Now, if it were a shower panel or something like that, I wouldn't go over it with another flood coat. All I would do is come in and put a, I would roll on the ultimate top coat. And you know, we really thought that we had to go high gloss with this, but in the vanity that we did, we actually put a matte, and it was absolutely stunning. So I do want to try something. I noticed in the picture that it was a little more fragmented. The gold on top was a little more fragmented. So I'm going to come over with some alcohol, and I'm going to see what happens, okay? So I'm going to let Kenny come up here with the camera. And I'm going to hit, now I love this, okay? I really love this.
Go ahead and hit it.
Nope, I'm going to hit it up here. I don't want to touch this right here.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to hit it. Now, my epoxy is also an hour and 10 minutes old. So that's one reason that I'm not getting as much as the fracture as I want, is because I am working with some pretty warm epoxy.
Just hit it all.
All of it? Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so look how that creates that really cool look. You could do this with a silver. You could do it with a gold. You could even take your board and you can tilt it. That would cause your veins to move as well. So what do y'all think, guys? Let me know if you like it. So I guess my my advice to you guys is to make sure that if you are going to do this for yourself or a customer or a design, make sure that you do several sample boards so that you know what's going to happen when these dyes touch each other and what other colors they're going to create. We had 0 purple in here, but because they started to touch, we got some really beautiful colors. I love it. I love the little hints of the purples and the blues that we got.
It's really
but
pretty.
Just make sure that you know what you're going to get by doing some sample boards first. So we'll leave this tonight Why? We might as well just go to the next step. We've pushed it this fast anyway. So anyway, we'll leave this, and tomorrow, if we wanted to, we would come over with the flood coat, and then we would come over with the UTC, either in gloss or matte. All right, so what do you think, guys? You like it? Robin, do you like this or not? I can't wait to get my dress now, so I'm going to have to see how it looks. All right, guys, so a couple of announcements. The UTC, they FedEx called me this morning. I will have the UTC tomorrow at some point. I don't know exactly what time they'll be here. They were supposed to be here last Friday, then they were going to be here Monday, and then they're here today, or tomorrow. So we will have that. The gloss UTC is not available yet. I'm going to tell you guys, I've had a ton of phone calls. People telling me that they did get some gloss on the last release and that it was very thin. So I'm going to tell you guys, that is why the gloss is not available right now. They are kind of reformulating it. I'm not really sure exactly what happened, but if you got some of that new gloss UTC and you followed our recipe on the PDF and you found it to be very, very thin, you're not going crazy, I promise. There was an issue with the mixture and it did come out thin. So that's what's happening with the gloss UTC. They are reformulating it and it will be back in its original form hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Now, if you did use it and it was thinner, don't worry, it's still fine. It's absolutely fine. It's going to dry. It may take a little bit longer. It's going to be just as durable and just as good. It's just the formulation was a little off, and so that's why they're redoing it. They're having a hard time getting the raw material, and like everything else, there's a shortage, so they're trying very, very hard. I talk daily with Stone Coat Countertop and the manufacturers, and they are telling me every single day that it's kind of giving me the update. Also, Erica's getting married. Did I tell you that? I have to tell that again, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So we will be leaving Thursday. There will not be a live next Tuesday. So we will be in Mexico. So you guys just have a Tuesday night off. Check out our website, RK3designs.com, for all of these products, except for the ones that I said Artist Till Death has. So you can you can check out that website for that. And also, guys, we do have an online course, and it is amazing. It's a menu-based course, and it is very good. So check that out, Online Epoxy Pro. And I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. I'm so excited, guys.
What?
Yes,
you
I
are?
have. Yes,
Not yet?
yes, I'm gonna let it out of the bag
my gosh.
because they're gonna post it tomorrow anyway.
Oh, okay.
So our
You heard it here first.
Our June Pro class, 8th through the 11th, I believe. I don't think I only have 6 spots left, but Mitch Quist and Luke Doyle, who is the videographer for Stone Coat that does all the videos for Stone Coat, most of them, not all of them, most of them. They are going to be here at the class, and I'm so excited. So it's an honor. So I am just so thrilled that Mitch and Luke are going to be here. We're going to be shooting tons of content. We're going to actually make another advertisement video for our classes. So if you're at this class, you'll get to be in the video.
Maybe.
And yeah, see if you make the cut. Anyway, so we only have 6 spots left, guys. So go check it out. We would love to have you. It is very limited spacing on this class because we don't let a ton of people in our classes because we want to give you one-on-one, hands-on help. So we don't pack these classes in. We give you tons of help. Ask anybody that's been to our class. You leave mushy-brained because we give you so much information. We feed you. We give you all of your sample boards, all of that fun stuff. So check it out. If you have any questions, give me a call. I would love to talk to you about those. Anyway, all right. So we're also running a special on our classes. I can't remember what the coupon code is, but I will post that on the website, and I'll also post it in the comments below. We're running 10% off of our classes through the end of April. So you'll get 10% off any of our classes, and as long as you register for those classes before the end of April. All right. I know that was a lot. If you have any questions, give me a call. All right, guys, until not next week, but the next week, remember, don't be scared. Move forward and be creative. I love you, and I will see you guys maybe on a live from Mexico. All right, guys. Bye.
Adios.